That's the one thing about young kids, dude. Like, yeah, you can't teach experience in the game of baseball. Like, you got to go out there and play, figure out what adjustments you need to make. You know, like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Like, you're a young player in the big leagues, you're going to get punched in the mouth a lot.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot. How we doing, brother?
Birthday boy, the big 5-0, man. Congrats. Happy Bday.
Yeah, can you believe it, dude? Big 5-0, man. It's incredible. I'm up here at MLB Network, and it's just so funny because I started here when I was 34.
Wow.
34 years old. 16 years later, I'm 50 years old. It's just incredible how time flies, dude. But I honestly feel like I'm sure anyone that's it really feels like a number for me because I feel like just moving the needle and onward and upward.
I love it. A little known fact, share a birthday with my wifey, Jess. It's her birthday today as well. Joe McGrain's birthday.
Joe McGrain, Jose Canseco, Brett the Hitman Hart.
Lindsay Lohan, I looked up before.
Lindsay Lohan. I texted Jess this morning. Same time she was texting me, 7:28.
Cool.
Yeah, and it turns out, dude, I think she's got another phone now because she's, with the Mets. I think that didn't she have two numbers?
Phones. She's got a lot of
Okay, because I texted the other phone and then she texted me on her other phone. I'm like, hey, I texted you first.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like a birthday every day for the Houston Astros, dude. What have they won? 10 of 11. The lead is 3 games in the AL West with the pitching M's and the not so much hitting M's, I guess. I don't know. What's our take on this? You've been talking this morning, right?
Well, dude, yeah. Well, I think the big thing is the young pitching has really stepped up, especially Hunter Brown. Over the last 6 starts, I think he has a .29 ERA, dude. It's like the greatest stretch, I think, in the history of the game, something like that. But he's really throwing his sinker more, starting to figure it out. That's the one thing about young kids, dude. Like, you can't teach experience in the game of baseball. Like, you got to go out there and play, figure out what adjustments you need to make. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Like, you're a young player in the big leagues, you're going to get punched in the mouth a lot. And the bottom line is when you get punched in the mouth and you're sitting in that corner, can you get back up? Can you get back up? Can you get back up? And I think that's the biggest thing. And when you look at Hunter Brown, boy, he had a terrible beginning of the year. I think he had like a 9 ERA. All of a sudden, he's one of the best pitchers in the game right now, figuring some stuff out, making the adjustments. So, and he's a huge reason why, the Astros are where they're at.
You say all the time, back of the baseball card, all that stuff. I heard you mention it talking about Bo Bichette today. Like, Bo Bichette can't do anything. He's going to do something. The Astros were going to do something. If we were talking like a month ago, it was like, Bregman to the Yankees, break him up, get rid of those contracts. And you're like, you've been saying it. And a lot of you guys, a lot of the legit analysts who play baseball have been saying, like, do not count this team out. Like, the track record is too good. The franchise is too good. I don't know.
Dude, 7 straight ALCSs. 7 straight.
Yeah.
You don't count anybody out. And I think I said this last week, but I just remember last year when they won and Bregman got the champagne out and was like, before they sprayed the champagne, he's like, well, looks like everybody wanted the Astros not to get in. We weren't going to get in. It turns out we're back. So it's like, you can't count out the Astros. And that's why a few weeks ago, when you asked Dana Brown, the GM, are they selling? Like, no, he goes, we think we're going to be buyers. And the big thing is, dude, Kyle Tucker's been out. Kyle Tucker's one of the best players in the game. He hit that ball off his shin a few weeks back. He's been out. So listen, Yordan Alvarez is still one of the best players in the game, over 900 OPS right now. Jeremy Pena's swinging the bat well, getting on base. Bregman has been the guy. I think that's, he had a terrible first couple months, has really gotten hot over this last month, 6 weeks, really, especially since Tucker went down. So, Bregman doing what he's doing is huge, and they're just finding ways to win. Hader's been good in the back end of that pen. That bullpen's been good. Abreu's been good back there too. So the Astros are the Astros, dude. They're not going anywhere. And you think about that division of the Mariners playing well. but doing it with pitching,
Mhm.
right? So they were 10 games up a few weeks ago. I almost feel like they had a chance to really bury the Astros and they didn't do it. And the big reason why is, their lineup has not been great, but Julio Rodriguez, he really needs to be a star, man. And I think if you look at his splits though, Chinch, historically, July on, this guy's numbers that's when he becomes one of the best players in the league. Which, you want him to be pretty consistent for 6 months, but he has over 900 OPS from July on. So he's going to get going. A lot of guys in that lineup have to find a way to get that offense going because that's really been the weak link for the Mariners so far.
Yeah. We'll keep it going with some exuberance of youth with a tie somewhat to Sean Casey, James Woods, not that James Woods, James Wood.
Yeah.
James Wood gets called up. He's twice the size of me. He's like probably a quarter size bigger than you, and he's fast, and he looked really cool last night playing tonight.
So cool. Cool story here. Kenny Wood, James Wood dad, went to Richmond. And you want to talk about a legend. This guy's a legend. When the Giant Killers in 1991, when they beat Syracuse in the tournament and they beat Indiana a couple years earlier, Kenny Wood was on those teams. And dude, he was a great basketball player. So Kenny has stayed in touch with me. Years ago when James was in high school, he was like, "Hey, take a look at my son's swing." And I was like, "Wow, man, this guy literally looks like Darryl Strawberry. Real tall, long limbs, unbelievable bat speed, Chinch." So it was years ago. I met him in the lobby. Kenny Wood and James came over to meet. I believe it was the All-Star game in 2019. Pretty sure All-Star game of the World Series. I can't remember what it was, but we were there. And he came down, and it was so cool to meet him. So I've followed his career, and I've kind of been in touch with him too. And to see him come up and get his first hit last night against Peterson, who's a pretty nasty lefty for the Mets, that says a lot that they're starting James Wood against the lefty. Dude, his splits are incredible. He's hitting like 327 off lefties with like a 670 slug. This guy, not only is he going to be, he has 70 power, grades out of 70 power, which 80 is the top power in the big leagues. But dude, this guy can hit. He's going to be, really think he's going to be a 300 hitter in the big leagues with elite power. This guy's going to be a superstar. I really believe that.
Yeah, the lefty thing to me is like almost the most impressive thing to see before you actually watch the guy play too much. But I'm watching him last night. He looked comfortable. He looked like a big league ball player. He looked like he's been playing the whole year. He's got that degree, it looks like.
No, he really does. He does. He settled in so well, and he looks like, that he's just, comfortable at bats. That first at bat that he hit that line drive to left, it was got it to 3-2, kind of worked it. Like, I remember my first at bat in the big leagues, Chinch. I was a wreck, dude. I don't even remember the first 3 pitches. I was 1-2 before you knew it. I ended up getting a hit, but I was like, I don't remember the first 3 pitches. And James Wood was locked in, from jump and ready to go. But, listen, go back to 2022. When you look at that trade now for Juan Soto, C.J. Abrams, who's their starting shortstop, Mackenzie Gore, who is their #1 starter, and James Wood, who I think was the best player in that trade. When they made that trade, I even said on air, because I was on air, I said James Wood will be the piece that when the Padres look back, they'll be like, wasn't worth it. So it'll be interesting to see because this guy can flat out play, dude. Yeah. And you got your starting shortstop of the future is 23, James Wood, I believe, 22 or something like that. So you got your outfielder of the future, and you got your #1 starter, Mackenzie Gore. Looks like a pretty good trade for Mike Rizzo and the Nationals right now.
Yeah, great points there. You're locked in today. It's a birthday. You're locked in birthday analysis. Dude, let's keep the youth movement going. For Francisco Alvarez, today is the anniversary of the Mets signing Francisco Alvarez at 16 years old. He was 16. Wow. All he's doing right now for the Mets, which, by the way, did not have him for that stretch where they were struggling big time this year. He was hurt. Don't forget. Right. He's hitting 356. What is this? Over the last X amount of games, 356. Last 7 days, he's got a bomb and 7 ribbies. In July, he just started. He's got that 1 bomb. Hit a triple last night. And then the cool thing about it is it's like, what do they call it? The exuberance of youth. He did the post-game interview and he's laughing. He's like, I'm faster than Vientos. I'm faster than Vientos. He doesn't, because Vientos doesn't have a triple for them. And he's
right.
little Pudge Rodriguez looking guy. He literally is built like a catcher. Like he's a good player. And now you got that mixed with the veterans like JD Martinez, and that team is looking really good right now.
Yeah, JD Martinez coming through again last night. I mean, Alvarez, this guy can flat out hit. I mean, Carlos Mendoza's got his catcher of the future there. Vientos, man, over 900 OPS right now. The way he's swinging the bat with some big power. But JD Martinez just makes that lineup better, dude. He makes people better. Anywhere he's ever gone, he makes people better. You know, when he was in Boston, even go back to the Mookie Betts years. I mean, you know, you feel like he made him better. You know, made Betts better. He was in, you know, with the Dodgers last year. You know, there's just anywhere he's gone, Arizona. So it's awesome to see what that lineup's doing right now for the Mets. I mean, you got Lindor at the top. You know what, Mendoza's kind of mixed it up a little bit too. Lindor at the top. You had Bader there. Bader at second last night at the top. So the Mets are playing some great baseball, man, and they're pulling every right string right now.
Yeah. And can you explain what it's like to learn from the veterans? Because like I watched Martinez fouled the ball off last night that you knew he got, and you could just he's like a thinking man's hitter. Like you could see him, his wheels turning, and that was earlier in the game, and he winds up going deep in a huge spot lesson. But like everybody to a man on that team is talking about JD Martinez. We watch him take BP. We watch him hit. He sits in the dugout and he just has a space next to him where anybody can walk up to him and talk hitting. And he talks to the pitchers. What value does that have for a younger player?
And he's 37. You know what I mean? Like that wisdom, you can't teach that wisdom that he has. He's been released by the Astros. I mean, he's been down every road you can imagine. He's been down. You know, I look back at my first year with really my second year. Barry Larkin and Greg Vaughn, Pete Harnish, some of these veteran guys were so huge for me. I remember one story when Barry Larkin was talking about getting a guy over, and I remember I drove a ball to left field. It ended up getting him over, and maybe somebody said something to me like, "Hey, you got to pull the ball to the right side." I remember Barry Larkin pulling me aside. I go, "Hey, no, you don't, Case. Just make sure you get him over. I don't care if it's a high fly ball to left or drive one in the gap or you roll one to second." He's like, "Get him over any way you can." That was one of the advices that I remembered. And the other one was this: I was really hitting well, Chinch in '99, really doing well, and I was a kind of a fiery young player. I remember coming back to the dugout or going to the tunnel, and I always kind of scream and yell a little bit, probably a little immature at the time, 24, 25 years old. And I remember a couple bench players come up to me that were veteran guys saying, "Hey man, listen, you know, you're hitting 380, and a lot of these guys on the bench are hitting 220, 230s. Like, you know, you got to calm down a little bit. You know, you can't be screaming in the dugout." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I mean, you know, whatever." The next inning, Barry Larkin grabs me. He's like, "Hey, Case." He's like, "What are you hitting?" I was like, 385. "You know, how many bombs you got?" 14 bombs. Yeah. He goes, "I heard that conversation a couple innings ago." And he goes, "Be you. Just be you. If you got to come in and yell in the dugout, or you got to go into the tunnel and get rid of some frustration because you're lined out or you're punched out," he's like, "keep being you." He goes, "We're gonna win ball games if you're you." And it's so funny, man. That helped me so much because I'm like, hey, if Barry Larkin's got my back and he's telling me just to be me, that was such a huge thing. And I remember that I was able to pay it forward. And you're talking about JD Martinez and like paying it forward to guys that have probably helped him along the way. And the advice that he has now. My last year with the Red Sox, Kevin Youkilis was kind of the same way. Young, fiery kid, fired up whenever he got out, and he would snap. And I remember a veteran player, I saw it happen, grabbed him and told him, "Hey man, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. You can't quit doing this, quit doing that." And I grabbed him the next inning. I said, "Hey, I heard that conversation that so-and-so said to you." I said, "I want you to tell you, what are you hitting?" Uke was leading the league in hitting. He's like, "I'm hitting 330. Look at all the, RBIs, driving." I go, "Yeah." I go, "Keep being you." I go, "If you're Kevin Youkilis is you and you're fired up and you're screaming and yelling, but you're driving in runs and driving in big runs, and we're winning ball games for the Red Sox, keep being you. Don't listen to what anyone else is saying." That they that guy that was talking to you was hitting, and this is true. The guy talking to you was hitting 210. He stinks. Maybe he needs to start yelling. Maybe he needs to start throwing stuff around. Like maybe we need to start caring more, whatever it is. I don't know. But whatever you're doing, you keep doing it." So it's great when you're able to pay it forward and pass it on to the younger kids from veteran guys that have passed it on to you.
Yeah, you get a lot of gratitude out of like taking something you learned from somebody and giving it to somebody else and seeing their eyes open. And now,
Yeah.
I bet you did that to somebody else down the road. That's exactly
Well,
right.
dude, listen, we're human beings. At the end of the day, I always tell people, listen, if you're struggling or you're grinding a little bit, go serve somebody else. Go find somebody to do something for, even if it's in your house, whatever, and I think that's the big thing in baseball. You have a chance to be a teammate, and you have a chance to serve each other. You have a chance to pat a guy on the back. A guy punches out, hey, you're going to be okay, dude. Hey, be yourself. Hey, I'm going to pick you up here. Steal a base for me. Maybe I'm not going to run for you. Guy gets to third base trying to get you a ribby, that kind of stuff. So, like, you have an opportunity every time you take the field, every time you get in a dugout or you're on a team to serve somebody. And I always say, if you want to do the most selfish thing in the world, serve somebody else. Because for whatever reason, our souls feel so good when you help somebody else out. And that's a great thing about this game is that, being a teammate, being a good teammate, being around guys, you got a chance to serve each other. That does bring a ton of gratitude, brother.
There you go. It's a good message. I'm grateful for you. 50 years on this planet. What is it? How many breaths did you take? Are you taking
45,000 breaths today, bro. You kidding me? I do not take one of them for granted, dude. Not one of them. 100,000 heartbeats. I'm listening in for that little gift. Thank you. Let's go. Hopefully 50 more years, maybe 100 more years of these heartbeats and breaths, Chinch.
Well, I'll be AI.
Grateful for you too, bro. Thank you, man.
Same here, man. You have a wonderful, amazing day with the wife. I'm going to take my wife out for her birthday and we'll call you later. Maybe we'll do a FaceTime birthday hello to both of you later on.
We will, dude. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah and I are going into the city tonight for a nice dinner, and I'm excited, man. It just reminds me, dude. We're going to a really nice place where I got to wear a suit. So I just remembered I was just about to take this off. I actually have to wear it out.
You could bring it home, do a little spritz on it. You're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, man.
All right, bro. Have a great.
All right, bro. All right, Chinch. All right, man. Love you, bro. Hey, everyone out there, thanks for listening. Hope everyone has an incredible day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.